Good evening and welcome to the September 18th council meeting. If you'd please stand, Mayor Pro Tem Howie is going to lead us in the pledge.
Please join us in saluting our great flag. Ready? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You can be seated, please. Our first presentation will be a recognition of retirement of Martha Hernandez, our Community Services Coordinator. Martha, would you please come up? Martha Hernandez has been an integral team member of the Community Services Department for 16 years. She's worked in different capacities within the department. She started as clerical support at the Neighborhood Activity Center, and shortly after, she was promoted to outreach specialist, where she used her bilingual skills to connect downtown community residents with programs and services offered citywide. As a community services coordinator for the past 9 years, Martha has successfully implemented various programs. Some of the programs she coordinated included Back to School, Thanksgiving, and Christmas holiday giveaways, Monte Vista Park Splash Pad, boxing, Healthy Chino, Tiny Talks, and a grant-funded after-school program at 6 different school sites. You've been very busy. Yes. Martha has trained and supervised over 80 part-time staff. She's built strong partnership support with the Chino Valley Unified School District, Boxing Foundation Board, Healthy Chino Coalition, services clubs, Chino YMCA, and local businesses. Martha, your 16 years of service have been invaluable. You've been an asset to the Community Services Department and to the City of Chino. And you have taken pride in providing quality services to our residents. You're going to be missed. We wish you the best in your retirement as you move to your new home at Lake Havasu, Nevada. So it isn't hot enough for you here. Oh, Arizona. Well, it says Nevada. That's next door. It's not hot enough here for you? At 118? Oh, my goodness. Wow. So you already have your home? Terrific. So you have you already located there?
Yes.
Oh, so you're traveling back and forth for a while.
No, traveling back and forth. We bought a home there 2 years ago, and my husband retired in May, and I'm going to follow him now, so we just used it as a vacation home.
Let's bring your family up. Okay. Come on. I'd like you to introduce them.
This is my youngest, Diego. He's 19. My daughter, my middle child, Athena. That's my little granddaughter over there hiding in the back of mommy, Kailani, and then my husband, Frank.
Would you like to say a few words?
I just want to say thank you. It's been my honor for the last 16 years to be in this community and serve. I've served with pride. I've been very happy here. I know the City of Chino will move forward and do wonderful things with the guidance of the council. And I wanted to say thank you to the Community Services Department for especially my manager, Linda Reich, for her leadership, the managers, Sylvia Avalos, Ted, and June for their guidance, the many supervisors that I've had through the years, for their support, and to my fellow coordinators over there. God, I've worked with them day after day through special events, mornings, late nights sometimes, and I will miss you guys truly, but I have wonderful memories, and I will cherish them, and I have them for a lifetime. Thank you.
And it reads, the City Council of Chino, on behalf of the citizens of Chino, wish to express their appreciation for your 16 years of dedicated service to the City of Chino and its residents. It's dated September 28th, 2018. Thank you very much. Martha, it's... Martha is a prime example of why our community is so special, because of the people that work here that truly care, just like the Chino cares, right? And thank you for supporting her, Frank, all these years. 16 years is a long time. And thank you to kids also. It's not easy having your mom work. I understand that and being away from the home, but thank you so much. And thank you, Martha, for your dedication.
Thank you. I
Try
will.
to stay cool.
I will.
Next, we have a presentation of the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for September 2018. I'd like to call up Douglas and Barbara Bowden. They live at 13595 Van Horn Circle. Of course, there's going to be many people in the audience and on the viewing TV that recognize Doug. Doug, how many years were you the band leader in Chino? Chino High? Or you still am? My gosh, he hasn't retired yet.
I'm starting my 33rd year there.
33rd year.
In the district, 27 at Chino.
27 at Chino High. My son was in band with Mr. Bowden and also in the jazz band, and you survived. Yes. You survived Troy. So. Well, I'd like to present you this certificate of congratulations on your beautiful home and, of course, your contribution to your neighborhood. This is a picture of their home, which should be showing on the TV. It already did. Okay, well, missed that. Here's 2 pens for both of you. 2 city pins. Thank you. And of course, the cherished yard sign, should you choose to put it up in your home.
Thank you very much.
Now, who does all the work in your home? Outside?
This was a very much a summer project. This the honey-do list was long this summer. And so we, a couple years ago, turned our yard into a drought-friendly front yard. And we decided to modify a little bit more this summer, and we both said, "Wow, someone noticed!" So it's really good. It's a lot of hard work, but it really makes the front yard a nice place to be. And we got to spend extra time, chit-chatting in the sun this summer. Yes. Yeah, we did it early mornings. Get up in the morning before it got too hot, and worked on it a lot. So.
Thank you very much for your contributions, and your name will go in the pot for the annual award.
Wow.
If you win it, you'll be invited to the annual State of the City address.
Well, thank you. And I'm right now, Chino Band's on the field practicing, and I got to go back to finish the rehearsal. So, thank you.
Congratulations, and we want to see you in the Rose Parade again.
We're working on it.
Okay. Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
I think they're competing in the parade tomorrow, aren't they? At the fair? Is it Doug? Oh, I think we might. Are you guys going to be in the fair tomorrow? Yes. In the parade?
We're in the fair Thursday night because we're called the Parade of Champions.
Okay.
We won it 2 years ago, so they pushed us a little bit different.
Okay.
So it's our second year of returning championship. So we're going to be in the fair Thursday night.
Well, good luck. Good luck. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to make one quick comment.
Sure.
Apparently, for the fair, for the parade participants, I think it's the Glendora rule. Is that what it is, or one of the cities won every year? So now, if you win the band, you can't win the next year. So you can't compete another year. So it's been 2 years now. Chino can come back in after they won it a couple of years ago, because I think one city won it 4 or 5 years in a row. So they had to put in a rule. You can't win every year. They got tired of that.
A little bit unfair. He's a good band leader, I'll tell you. And he puts up with a lot from those kids. I know personally. He survived Troy. Okay, next on the agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that are not on the agenda elsewhere. We can't take action on an item that's not on the agenda, but we would like to hear your concerns. So our first written request is from Mr. Craig Arnhart. He's from Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, and he is here to provide an invocation. So all those that would like to join us are invited to stand.
Thank you very much on behalf of Pastor David Rosales and us at Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley for allowing us to be here. Let's pray. Father, I just thank you for this day. I thank you for this city, Lord. It's such a blessing to be here and even living in the city and being a part of it and being a part of the school district and so many years. And now to be able to be here and pray for the city council. I pray that you would give them wisdom and understanding in the decisions that they have to make. And Father, that you would continue to bless this city. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Craig. Next written request. Now I'm probably going to botch this last name. Chuck Krokowski. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Close. I'll say it again.
From Newmeyer and Dillon.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Chuck Krolakowski, and I'm legal counsel for Frontier Communities. Frontier Communities is a home builder in the area, in the Inland Empire. They built many different subdivisions in the Inland Empire. They have 2 pending projects in the city of Chino. One's tract map 18956 called Cypress Villas. The other's tract map 18957 called Cedar Point. The reason I am here tonight is that my clients received information that the city was being critical of Frontier Communities for the lawsuits that it has recently filed against the city with respect to its developments. And I'm here tonight to kind of set the record straight as to why these lawsuits were filed and the relief we're seeking and why we're here. And what you'll hear throughout tonight's 5 minutes is a presentation that's pretty simple. If the city had done what it was supposed to do, when it was supposed to do it, none of these actions would have been filed. None of them. Frontier has never sued a public entity ever. First time for them, suing a public entity. And so let's start at the beginning. July of 2017, Frontier sends a request to the city to reduce its bonds for the 2 projects. The city was under legal obligation under the Subdivision Map Act to respond within 45 days and identify what was left to be done for the projects and reduce the bonds accordingly. Did the city do that? No. Didn't respond within 45 days, didn't respond within 60 days, not 90 days, not 100 days. In fact, the city engineer sent an email saying, yeah, we're not going to bother reducing bonds at this time in violation of the law. We waited 1 month after month after month for this to occur. Nothing happened. The only way we could vindicate our rights was to file a lawsuit and have a judge compel it. Here we are, a year later. Last month, the city, for the first time, reduced the bonds for one of the 2 projects. I understand the city is now considering reducing the bonds for the second project, a year late. The only way we had to compel this to happen was to file a lawsuit. If the city had done what they were supposed to do, follow the law, we wouldn't have had to do that. And the problem with the bonds is this. First of all, millions and millions of dollars of bonds that we've been having, clients have had to pay. The problem is, first, we have to pay premiums on those bonds. And second of all, because they're extended on bonds for these projects, it's difficulty obtaining financing and bonds for other projects. Frontier's been damaged by hundreds of thousands of dollars because the city decided not to follow the law and respond within 45 days of the request. That's just one of the lawsuits. Here's another example. In January of 2018, we sent a request to the city. We'd like to enter into a reimbursement agreement for a pedestrian bridge that we built, Frontier Communities, for the benefit of the city and its residents. There was no nexus between that pedestrian bridge and our project. It was something we did for the city as a condition of approval in the hopes of getting reimbursed. We sent a letter in January of 2018. The bridge is almost done. We'd like to get the reimbursement agreement going. Did anything happen? No. 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by, 3, 4, nothing happens. The city's working on it. The city didn't respond. We had to file another lawsuit to compel the city to enter into a reimbursement agreement, which it's obligated to do. under both the Subdivision Map Act and the city's own DIF ordinance, the city was required to enter into that agreement. 9 months, 9 months later, we finally have an agreement, which was just signed. Why did it take so long? Why did it take so long to negotiate a 4-page agreement? Again, if the city had done what it was supposed to do, when it was supposed to do it, we wouldn't have needed to file that lawsuit. Finally, we have 3 pending COOs, certificates of occupancy for one of our projects. The project's been done. We had meetings, had discussions about ADA ramps, and that's the last point. Frontier constructed and designed ADA ramps per the city's details, their own design. Then the city said, we don't like those, rip them out. We ripped them out. We put in new ones with directional considerations. Then it says, we don't like those ones either, rip those out. So go back to the original design. We do that. Now the city's saying you need to engineer and design every single ramp. It's a moving target. Again, if the city had done what it was supposed to do, we would have our projects done, we'd have our COOs, there wouldn't be any more of these lawsuits. So I just want to set the record straight. I've heard there's been some critical comments about Frontier, and I want to make sure you know of the real facts behind these lawsuits and why we've had to file them and why we're now finally getting action after we've had to file them. And I know after I'm done, someone may get up and say they're completely wrong. Well, I'll be here. If anyone wants to ask me questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you.
I wish I could respond, and I can't. You know, because there's lawsuits.
I understand. Thank you.
There are 2 sides to every story. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Yes, Stubby?
Thank you, Mayor. I know you can't respond, but maybe I can respond a little bit. Because Mr. Krakowski only told half of the story, if that. If Frontier Communities had the capabilities of building to meet the requirements of the code, they wouldn't have had any issue from day one. The city is not responsible legally or in any other way to design the project for the developer. The situation as it stands right now, the reason that none of the COOs were issued is because they shouldn't have been issued, because if they had read their subdivision improvement agreement, they would see that the COOs are not to be issued until other conditions, including the public works improvements, were complete. The city allowed and issued, maybe mistakenly, some of those COOs, but the city is within all their rights, per the agreement, per the contract that was signed between us and him, to withhold those COOs. And we are also within our rights to mandate that all of the improvements he does meet all of the laws, including all of the accessibility laws. Thank you.
Thank you, Stubby. Is there anyone else that would like to address the council? Okay, we have a tradition here, and that is that any student from any of the schools, surrounding schools that are here visiting this evening, sometimes for class requirements, come up, introduce themselves, say the school that you attend, the class that you're in, and the subject that you're studying in school. So we have quite a few students in here, so come on up. Come on, you don't have a choice. You have to get up and come up and introduce yourselves. You don't get school credit if you don't do that. Come on. There's some brave guys.
Yeah, we'll see which one comes first.
Come on, we don't bite. This is a way to prove to your teachers that you were here.
So we have to introduce ourselves.
Yes, your name, your teacher's name, the class, subject.
Daniel Zhang from China, and I'm a senior in Donglugo High School.
Okay, and your subject that you're taking?
What?
What is the subject that you're taking?
I didn't know there is a subject thing. We're just asked to come here to listen to you and make some notes.
Okay, well, thank you for visiting this evening.
Name is David Wayne from China too, and basically I'm with the same teacher that Daniel has. I'm in U.S. government subject.
Okay, and your teacher?
and Mr. Pope. I'm in Down Local High School.
Thank you for being here.
My name is Brian Fung. I'm a senior at Don Local High School, and I'm in U.S. government, and my teacher's name is Mr. Pope.
Thank you very much. He's a good teacher.
My name is Kenneth Aroa. I'm a senior at Don Local High School. I'm in U.S. government, and my teacher is Mr. Pope.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Asianba from Philippines. I'm senior at Don Lugo, and it's from U.S. government, and my teacher is Ms. Carpentier. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nancy, and my Chinese name is Bo Ya Zhang. I'm from China, so this is first year I came to America.
Welcome.
I'm studying in the local high school. I'm senior. My teacher is Mr. Pop, and my subject is government.
Thank you for coming.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca. I'm a senior in Downlogo High School, and those Chinese girls and boys are my classmates. And this is also the first year I come to America for study. And my subject is about the U.S. government. My teacher is Mr. Pope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rita, and my last name is in China is S-O-N-G. It's pronunciation very similar like the song. So a lot of people call me the Miss Song. And this is my first year to come to America, and this is also the first time I joined the city council meeting. And today gave me a lot of new experience. So I'm very glad to hear.
Thank you for being here.
And my teacher also the Mr. Pope.
Thank you.
My name is Martin, and I'm from Donegal High School. And my subject is U.S. government, and my teacher is Mr. Pope. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Martin too, and my family name is He. That's have a very different pronunciation in Chinese. The pronunciation is he, not he. And I'm a senior at Zhong Lugo, and my teacher is Mr. Paul.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, my name is Toby Xu, and I come from China too, and I am senior of Don Lugo, and subject is U.S. government too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Larry Jin, and I'm senior of Donegal High School. My teacher's name is Mr. Pope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justin, and it's also my first year to America. I go there is also for U.S. government. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now somebody just sat down, and she's all red in the face. Are you going to come up? Come on. Are you a student?
What they said.
My name is Wendy. I'm from Down Logo. I'm a senior student. My teacher is Mr. Paul too.
Well, thank you for coming this evening.
Shy girl.
Very shy. Yes, Tom?
I was going to say, probably American government for these students probably pretty easy. It's only a couple hundred years, but they probably have 2,000 or 3,000 years of study
That's
for
true.
China. So
That's
you
true.
picked a good place to come to.
Well, thank you for being here this evening. Okay, we have no other written requests to speak, so next item is the consent calendar. Item number 2 will be pulled for separate action because Mayor Pro Tem Howie was absent. Does anyone wish any other items on the consent calendar to be pulled?
Yes, I'd like to have item number 6 pulled for comment.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion for the balance of the consent calendar. Yeah, you can vote on this one. Okay, there's a motion from Mr. Elrod. Whoops, changed. Seconded by Councilmember George, and the item passes unanimously. Okay, item number 2 is separate item for action because of Mr. Howie's absence. So is there a motion for approval? Motion from Councilman Elrod. Second from Councilman George. The item passes 3 yes with 1 abstention. Next item that was pulled is item number 6, 2019 Office of Traffic Safety Selective Traffic Enforcement Program grant. And Mr. George asked that this be pulled for information. You just wanted to make a comment, Gary?
Just for a comment, yeah. I just wanted to congratulate the police department for securing this grant, this STEP grant, and an amount of $130,000 to fund DUI checkpoints, which I think are totally necessary. And I'm glad that we're, the click it or ticket idea and bike enforcement, traffic safety education, everything that this will encompass. Great job for bringing that grant in because it's totally needed. So thank you for doing that.
Okay, then is there a motion, Mr. George? Motion from, Councilman Elrod, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie. A little slow. And come on, Gary. Okay, the item passes 4 yes. Next item on the agenda is under new business, item number 10, Well 33 Treatment Project. This is the appropriation of $150,000 from the unappropriated reserves of the Water Fund to reimburse Monte Vista Water District for water treatment design costs for Well 33. Our staff report this evening will be provided by Amanda Coker, our associate engineer.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. For your consideration this evening is an appropriation of $150,000 for a joint project with the Monte Vista Water District. The city jointly owns a 2,000 gallon per minute well with Monte Vista known as Well 33 and associated nitrate treatment. The facilities were built back in 2005 as a part of the Metropolitan Water District Dry Year Yield Program. Unfortunately, after the well and treatment had been constructed, an unanticipated contaminant known as DBCP was discovered, which exceeded the maximum contaminant level. Monte Vista had the capability to blend the contaminated water down below the MCL, but the city did not. So since that time, the city has not been able to utilize the water produced from Well 33. Water quality sampling data has recently revealed that Well 33 has concentrations of 123 TCP, which exceed the newly promulgated MCL of 5 parts per trillion. Monte Vista is no longer able to utilize the well, so they have spearheaded a project which involves centralized treatment of several Monte Vista wells, including jointly owned Well 33. Fortunately, the treatment for 123 TCP will also treat DBCP, so the city's participation in the project will enable the utilization of a stranded asset and will expand the city's water portfolio by 1,000 gallons per minute, increasing overall reliability. Monte Vista, with city staff participation, are moving forward with the selection of a design firm. Monte Vista will be entering into a contract with the selected design firm and will be managing the contract. The city has negotiated a contribution share of 17% of the design costs, which will be reimbursed to Monte Vista after a reimbursement agreement is executed. That concludes my presentation, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Amanda. How long has that well not been utilized?
Since 2005.
Oh, okay, been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. This is not a public hearing, but is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, any council comments? Okay, then I would entertain a motion. Motion from Councilman George, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie. And the item passes 4 yes. Item number 11, Design Professional Services Agreement, TDA Bicycle, Pedestrian, and Transit Access Improvements, ST 182. This is to award a design professional services agreement to Hewitt Zollers Incorporated for bicycle, pedestrian, transit access improvement in the amount of $142,000. Our staff report this evening will be from Maria Frazier, our civil engineer manager.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council members. On October 2017, the city was awarded grant funds under the Traffic Development Act, TDA, and the bicycle, pedestrian, and transit programs which council adopted in August of 2018. Subsequently, staff developed a project with the main goal to construct bicycle, sidewalks, pedestrian ramps, and street improvements. On March 16, 2018, staff published a request for proposals for engineering services, and on April 13, 2018, 7 proposals were received and ranked based on specific qualifications, and 4 firms were selected to interview. After interview, staff ranked Hewitt Solars as the most qualified firm with a proposal fee in the amount of $142,000. Therefore, staff recommends awarding Hewitt Solars the design of the bicycle, pedestrian, and transit access improvements and authorize $14,000 for project contingencies. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Maria. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment on this item? Okay, any comments from council or questions? Okay, then a motion would be appropriate. There's a motion from Councilman George, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, and this item passes 4 in favor. Thank you very much, Maria. Item number 12, introduction of ordinance number 2018-006, amending Chino Municipal Code Section 2.04.010 pertaining to council meeting start times. This item is to approve the introduction of the ordinance amending the Chino Municipal Code as it pertains to start times for regular city council meetings. Staff report this evening will be provided by Mr. Matt Ballantyne, our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. At the conclusion of our August 13th council meeting, the council directed staff to agendize a discussion regarding the start times for council meetings with the possibility of starting council meetings sooner in the evening. As we're all aware, the current council start times is 7 p.m. In looking at other communities, the typical start time for council meetings range from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Cities of Ontario and Corona start at 6:30. Cities of Montclair and Chino Hills start at 7. If it's the council's pleasure to initiate an earlier start time, staff would recommend the meeting start no sooner than 6:30 p.m. As such, staff drafted the attached ordinance for council consideration for the 6:30 p.m. if you so desire to move forward. This concludes my report, and staff would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, prior to questions of staff or council comments, we do have one written request to speak. Mr. Mark Hargrove.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Really, the only question I have is why? Why are we moving? If there's, I looked in the staff report, I didn't see why we're putting it half an hour forward. I truly believe that for the convenience of the residents that live here, to have the opportunity to come here, today's workforce and traffic and all that, I think the further we move it up, the less we have this residents have the availability to come here. I certainly am very fortunate I have the opportunities to come here, so it wouldn't matter to me, but just kind of polling and surveying those that I spoke to said they didn't understand. Of course, there's always that, well, it's too, it's for their advantage and whatever. So really, I'm just asking what's the reasoning for it? Why do we move up 30 minutes? I did also look at some of the Ranch Cucamongas at 7, 6:30 at Upland, so it's not out of the realm in terms of what does neighboring communities have going on. Really, that's the only question I have. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mark. This item was introduced by Mr. Howie a month ago.
Yeah,
so, Tom, would you like to speak first?
Sure. Yeah. In looking, and also part of the reason is because of staff. They've been here all day. It becomes a really long day. If we have a lot of comments, these meetings can drag late into the night. The residents, you see them starting to, fall asleep at 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So I thought maybe 6:30 time would be better. But in thinking about for the last few weeks, I'm now into the opinion that we probably should, since we have an election coming up and probably some new council members coming on. There's a possibility we have anywhere from 1 to 3 new council members. Maybe it would be better if we postpone this until next year, look at it again with a new council, and then make a decision. So my suggestion would be to pull this item at this time, and let's just take a look at it next year.
Is there any objection to pulling this item and sending it back? I agree. I had thought about it a lot, and I agree. I personally would not like to move the time. Having only retired a year ago, it was a rush sometimes to get here by 7, and I know a lot of our audience, it's just inconvenient to come here, and they might be able to watch it on TV, but if it's a half hour early, then they're in the middle of dinner or helping with the kids with homework or whatever, so.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're sending it back.
Okay.
Okay, then we will send this item back to staff with no action. Okay, next on the agenda is mayor and council reports. See, we have an action item number 13, Community Services Commission appointment. Chino Valley Unified School District appointment of Arciela Talavera to the Community Services Commission for an unexpired term, it's interesting, ending June 30th, 2020. So it would be appropriate if Araceli is here this evening. Are you? Okay, come up. And our city clerk will issue the oath of office to you.
I, Araceli Talavera, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. That oath is a tongue twister. I don't care how many times you take it, you can always get tripped up toward the last. I think all my council members will agree with that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, first I'd like to give everyone one last reminder about a great opportunity happening at the LA County Fair. In an effort to thank all participating cities for helping fundraise the Yellow Bus program, the LA County Fair is offering a special admission rate to each of the city's residents. The city of Chino is scheduled to receive this special rate all day tomorrow, September 19th. Here, Chino residents will be able to attend the fair for $6.60. To take advantage of this great opportunity, residents will need to obtain the tickets online before midnight tonight by visiting www.lacountyfair.com. Click on Tickets, select $20 Community Fair Day admission, and use the promo code CHINO to receive the discount admission. For more information, you can call 909-334-3258. Of course, if you don't do it before midnight tonight, there's no sense calling the number. Also, make sure you come out on Saturday, September 22nd to the Chino Community Building on 5443 B Street and join us for our Connecting Chino event happening from 9 to 12 p.m. This is a free event that allows participants to test out our current safety projects around the Chino Community Building while giving everyone a chance to borrow a bike and experience our protected bike lane and bike boulevards. Additionally, those in attendance will be able to enjoy free entertainment, including bike safety classes and demonstration bike rides, free bike repair by InCycles Bicycles, a bouncing house, and a free community barbecue. For more information for that event, please call or please visit gohumansocal.org/connectingchino. Okay, and the events pertaining to Chino that I attended since the last community meeting or last council meeting. On the 5th, there was the Omnitrans and San Bernardino County Transportation Authority Board of Directors. On the 6th, I attended Mrs. Verona Weeks' memorial service, and the champion said that she had died where she was actually born, which was Arkansas. It's not true. She died in her house here in Chino. I attended the IEUA Sewage Policy Committee. Everyone says hi, Earl. On the 7th, we had the Senior Citizens Birthday Celebration at the Senior Center. On the 8th, the Bread of Life Christian Chinese Church celebrated their school opening. On the 9th was Cross Point Community Appreciation Day. On the 10th, I met with several gentlemen at Vander Dusen's to discuss development within the Ag Preserve. On the 11th, we attended, several of us attended the memorial, 9/11 memorial at the fire department. I also attended the Let It Be Foundation Junior Achievement and Chick-fil-A meeting regarding Chick-fil-A's involvement in junior achievement, along with Let It Be Foundation. And then that afternoon was the Watermaster Storage Framework meeting. On the 13th was Watermaster Appropriative Pool, and then on the 15th, Saturday night, was the Kiwanis Car Night. There were a lot of new faces there this year. I didn't win. No, one of our Chino PD employees won though, which was really great. And Donna DeBee won the first out number. She won $2,080. And we bought tickets for the little drawing things, and we won a cooler. But it was fun. It's always a lot of fun.
$300 cooler now.
Yeah, I know. Just what we needed. Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Howie, your report?
Thank you, Eunice. You need to attend a few more meetings. It seems like you've been a little busy lately.
I don't know how I did all of this when I was working.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
crazy.
Exactly. Well, I have a very short report this evening. I know everybody will appreciate that. Was on vacation, and for our anniversary for Karen and I, we took a long vacation and had a great time, and so didn't attend a lot of meetings over the last couple of weeks. Just remember, everybody, we hope to see you tomorrow, Chino Day at the fair. That'll be exciting. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't announce Rancho del Chino Rotary's Skate and Eat event coming up on Thursday, September 27th, out at Rahagi Shooting Range. You get your chance to eat and shoot a shotgun. It's a lot of fun. Please give us a call if you're interested in that event. You're going to be going this year, Eunice? Next week. You should go. You have a lot of fun doing that.
I have to look and see what's on the calendar.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds
Can I
good.
shoot? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she can shoot.
My own shotgun.
Yes.
No, my left hand's damaged. My right hand's okay.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so that event's coming up, and it's always a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout, and it'll be a very successful event. That's all I got tonight.
Did you bring us back a T-shirt or anything?
From
Ireland?
No. No. No, but they sure talk funny over there.
Jeez.
Just out of curiosity, how'd that Vander Dusen meeting go?
It was interesting. It's interesting. You know, the state has actually put not just Chino, but practically every city in a real dilemma because they're mandating certain densities that physically are almost impossible to build. And the way they explain it's like if you had a balloon, right? The only way you can cram it into a certain space is to go up. And nobody wants to live in a 3 or a 4-story building. And these densities are impossible to comply with, just about impossible. And the state's mandating things that we can't. It's very frustrating. The state is continually changing things.
And 4 to 5 stories, 6 stories tall.
But that's Orange County.
Yeah.
That's not out here. People don't move out here to live in those kind of conditions. It's frustrating. Okay, anything on your report this evening?
No, I don't have a report tonight.
Really?
I don't. Nothing.
You behaved?
I did, and I'm not going to do that again.
Okay, Councilman George. Jeez.
Earl. Let's see, I think should I be starting with a community support fund thing?
Oh, yes. Under Councilman George's items, he has item number 14, which is a community support fund.
Yes, I'm asking, disappeared, asking to move some of the community support funds to the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation for Gobbler Gloves for $250, and to the Chino Youth Museum for Fall Bingo to be expended from the Community Support Fund. And doing it a little earlier this year because maybe we can get the funding to them before the event this time instead of way afterwards. So I'd like that to be passed, please.
Okay, there's a motion from Councilman Earl Elrod and a second from myself. And the item passes 4 yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the rest of your report?
All right. On the 6th of September, a very unique event, the drug awareness program with Chino Police Department and the DEA in the Riverside area. It was at Don Lugo High School, and for some reason it was at Don Lugo High School. And the beginning of the program, they brought in a Black Hawk helicopter, which every student in the school was just in awe of. Well, I was in awe of it too. Just landed right on the field. It was fantastic. Got everybody's attention, and then the entire freshman class from Don Lugo High School and from Chino High School moved into the auditorium there for a great presentation on drug awareness, and so really well done. Thank you again. That evening, attended the BIA legislative reception. On the 7th, there was a ribbon cutting event with for the Chino Chamber of Commerce. On the 10th, I represented Chino at the California Institute. The California Institute for Women. That was the beginning of their Suicide Prevention Week, which we had talked about earlier. A great opening ceremony for the women that are out at CIW. On the 11th, attended the tribute to Valor, Chino Valley Fire District, Fire Station 66 in Chino Hills. Really well done, as it is every year. Very, very moving event. And then from the 12th, 13th, the League of California Cities had their annual conference in Long Beach, and was privileged to attend that. Great conferences, great breakout sessions, mainly covering advocacy, organizational effectiveness, education and training, membership, governance, visibility, and how cities can work together to solve some of the problems. That's one of the best parts of the breakout sessions, is cities sharing ideas on this has happened to me, this could happen to you, and here's what you can do to prevent it, and thank you for sharing with us, that kind of thing. So it was a great conference. And last but not least, congratulations to Araceli. I know she's going to do a fantastic job. She did a fantastic job at Chino High School, and now it's Cal State San Bernardino, right? At Cal State San Bernardino, and I think she's going to be an amazing asset to the Community Service Commission. So congratulations, Araceli. That's it.
Okay. City Manager Ballantyne.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report.
And we have a new face sitting in the attorney's chair.
That's right. I'm Brian Wright Bushman. I work with Fred Galante. It's my pleasure to be with you all tonight, but I have nothing to report.
Nothing to report?
I don't think
so. You've behaved yourself just like Mr. Elrod.
But again, I'll try not to do that again.
Me and you both.
Jeez. Chief Constock, anything this evening?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Councilman George, I want to thank you for your public comment tonight about the Chino Police Department and your support in accepting the STEP grant to all of you. One of the most common complaints I get as the chief of police, quite frankly, is about traffic and circulation here in the city of Chino. As most of you know, my family has lived here since the 70s, since we were a population of about 30,000, and now we're a population of just over 87,000. So circulation and traffic concerns in the city have gotten much greater and much more frustrating for people. So this grant is not just about enforcement, but also public safety education to the motoring public. It's an important tool for us to use. There's a lot of people that wonder, hey, they do saturation patrols or DUI checkpoints actually enhance the public safety? I believe they do. Impaired driving, not just DUI, but DUI drugs is a serious problem and a concern throughout the state. And the enforcement efforts will help us keep our community safer. But also equally important is the education component. Participating in statewide campaigns such as Click It or Ticket helps to remind people while they're driving how important it is to keep their eyes on the road, wear their seatbelt, and please don't drive distracted. So thank you again for your support. We appreciate it. And thank you, Councilman George, for your comment tonight.
Thank you, Chief. And who's here from the fire department?
All right, got a hand in the back.
Got a hand in the back.
Mayor Lower, Council, good evening. Kyle Collins, Deputy Chief, Chino Valley Fire District. I wanted to talk to you real quick about ISO, also called Insurance Services Office. The Fire District had a recent visit by ISO. They come about every 5 years, and they grade fire districts across the United States. They're an independent for-profit organization that evaluates fire risk in over 46,000 communities throughout the United States. The ISO uses a system called the Fire Suppression Rating Schedule, and they analyze relevant fire protection data, and they assign a public protection classification from number 1 to 10, 1 being the highest rating you can get, and 10 being it doesn't meet their minimum requirements. Let's see, many insurance companies utilize this rating to set their insurance rates, so that's why it's important to us as a fire district to try and obtain as high a classification as we can. Some of the things that, some of the 4 categories that they look at, for fire department, they look at staffing, apparatus, training records, and response times. For emergency communications, they look at our 911 system. For water supply, they look at hydrants, projected fire flow GPMs, and system testing and maintenance, which is, of course, where the cities come in. And they look at community risk reduction, such as fire safety, education, and fire investigation. And I'm very pleased to announce that our fire district received a rating from 3 up to 2, which that's just one below the best rating that they have. And that puts us in a very a small percentage of fire districts throughout the United States. And hopefully that will mean lower insurance rates for all of our constituents.
Now, do we call our homeowners insurance and tell them about that?
Well, we're going to try to get the word out. I think people would be smart to try to do that. Not all insurance companies use that as a tool for risk, but a lot do. So if I lived in the city of Chino or Chino Hills, I certainly would make that call to your homeowner's insurance and just ask by chance if that would reduce your rate, maybe even earthquake insurance, definitely fire insurance. So see if that would reduce your rates, and I'd make that call. It'd be worth it.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, that's all we have on our agenda this evening. So our next council meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 2nd at 7:00 p.m. with closed session at 6 if necessary. With that, we are adjourned. Have a good evening.